So I wanted to share some tips with you on how you can determine whether it's the right time or not to heal your diastasis. Welcome to the 6th episode of the Becky Choi's podcast show. Thank you for spending some time with me today. Now today I want to talk to you about when do you know you're ready for harder exercises for healing your diastasis recti. Oftentimes I see two types of moms in my community and also when I get on the consultation calls with the moms. Very often, type A would be somebody who had never exercised before, who never really need to exercise because they were always skinny fat, just like myself. I was always that typical skinny Asian girl. Weight was never my issue, so I never knew how gaining weight would be like. So I never really need to exercise to lose the weight or whatnot. I was just never into fitness before. And so they had no clue on how to exercise. Now the second type of mom would be somebody who have always been pretty active. They went to the gym and they know they have some sort of idea what exercise they like. They might be like doing cardios or weightlifting exercises. They like doing dance classes. So there are two types of moms, and what happened is with the first type of mom who have no idea what to do, they tend to just become very fearful when it comes to doing exercise. First of all, they have no clue on how to start the healing their diastasis, what to do with that specific situations. And also secondly, it's like they just don't know how to move their body because they never really needed to. And now that they have probably gained some weight after giving birth and then they have the diastasis situation, so they got really lost. The second type of mom who have always went to the gym and have always been active, they really wanted to get back into their regular groove. They wanted to go back to running. They want to go back to doing some weightlifting exercises. So they do them, but then they always dance around the core. They would do everything else. They will work on their upper body, the lower body, except for the belly. Because again, they just not sure how to do it properly. And even if they try to, it felt like nothing is happening there. Nothing is happening with the core. There's no improvement on the core, so that they get stuck. So those are the two very common types of moms that I see when I spoke with in the consultation call. You can get a consultation call with me if you go to the www.tommywarrior.com, and then you can book a call with me if you wanted to get on a call and chat about your situation and see if you would be a good fit that we work together. Now today I wanted to tell you these are the fears that are really holding you back from progressing forward, from progressively overloading your core, from actually making, healing, and strengthening your diastasis. So I wanted to share some tips with you on how you can determine whether it's the right time or not to heal your diastasis with the right and harder exercises and challenge yourself. Now, if you don't see doming, sinking, bulging on your tummy while you're doing exercise, does that mean that you're ready for harder exercise? Now, let me just take a quick moment here to explain what doming, sinking, and bulging means. And there is a post on my Instagram. If you go to Becky Choi _ at Becky Choi _ you will see a post for doming, bulging, and bearing down. But I wanted to quickly just to give you an idea what that means on this podcast episode. So for doming, it's like a mountain of meat, it's like volcano coming out of your abdomen vertically from your sternum to your lower belly. You will see a vertical doming. So like your meat and your skin like sort of doming out of your abdomen. So that's doming. And sinking in is like the opposite. So you will see your belly button sinking into your spine. Like you see a vertical gap again from your sternum to your belly button, or maybe just that belly button region. You see your belly button sinking in. And the last thing is bulging or bearing down. It means that like everywhere else is sort of flat except for that belly button or that lower belly region where it bulges out like a bread loafing. And so it's like everywhere else is flat, but that belly region, the lower belly region, sort of like bulging out, making it extra puffier. It's extra bulgy versus when you are in that relaxed state. So it's called bulging. Now, if you don't see doming, sinking in, bulging while you exercise it, does it mean you're ready for advanced exercises? The simple answer is yes, you are ready for it. If you don't see it, it's telling me that you're able to generate enough tensions on your abdominal separation in that connective tissue, that region. You're able to generate enough tension for you to be able to do the exercises and not seeing doming, sinking, and bulging in. your core is actually stronger than you think. And your core is just like any muscles, any other muscle. It needs to load slightly more than you can handle for your muscles to get stronger. And so think about your bicep, okay? Like take a look at your bicep. If you do a bicep, right, pretend you're lifting dumbbells, and so you will see that your bicep is working for you. But if you lift the same weight over and over again, let's say 5 pounds, if you lift that 5 pounds week after week and you're not increasing the load, increasing the weight of the dumbbell, that bicep muscle isn't going to grow. It will stay the same because you're not putting more tension. You're not loading the muscles with more heavier weight. In order for your muscles to grow, to strengthen, you need to challenge yourself more. And same thing with your core. But with your core, it's not like you can lift weights with it, right? Not like the biceps. So it needs to be challenged with resistance and also challenging exercises in order to gain strength. So once you have foundations in place, and the foundations are super important, which is we cannot overlook, because without foundation, when you move too quickly into doing cardios and weightlifting exercises, they are just not going to be effective for your core. And that's why you complain, oh, well, I do exercise, I do all these, I'm very active, but I'm still seeing this bulging of that tummy that makes me look like 4 or 5 months pregnant. It's because you're not utilizing the core muscles properly. Because when you are able to have a foundation in place, anything you do later on, whether it is cardios or weightlifting exercise, it can become your core exercise. It's such an amazing thing because once you get that foundation in place, and even if you go back to go on a treadmill or doing some HIIT style workout or cardios or whatnot, those can become your core exercises. But we can't move too quickly into it without the foundation. And foundation, it means all about breathing in another episode earlier. You need to be able to have proper forms while you're doing the exercises in various positions. Do you have that mind to muscles connections? Are you able to connect with your deep core muscles when you voluntarily want it to activate? Wait, sitting here, if you're listening to me, or if you're sitting here walking, or you're walking outside, are you able to just like voluntarily turn on your pelvic floor muscles? Are you able to draw in that lower belly region with ease? So that's mind to muscles connection. Are you able to brace yourself? So like inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth, then you're bracing your core, you're protecting your spine. Are you able to do that and being able to do more exercise with it? Now, and then you can incorporate all these skills into more advanced exercises. So a lot of time when you go on YouTube videos and search for diastasis exercises, and they will generally tell you to do like heel slide, bridges, pelvic tilt, or bird dog, or dead bug, right? But, those exercises are great, especially in the beginning. Some of them, even dead bug or like leg lift, they could be quite challenging for you if your core is not able to manage the core pressure inside that we all have. But because of diastasis, it's just so hard. And for some moms, it's just so hard to manage the core pressure without doming, bulging, sinking in. But again, if you are just doing the heel slide and leg lift and bridges and you don't see those symptoms like the bulginess, the bearing down, the sinking in, and the doming, then those exercises won't be effective for you because you need resistance. You need to challenge your core with more stuff so that you can actually reap the effect of strengthening the core and actually pull the muscles taut together, right? They are widened right now. They're not separated. They're just really stretched out. If you have 3-4 fingers gap or 4+ fingers gap, we want to bring those muscles back together at the same time having enough tensions, meaning how many knuckles are you able to fit into your belly button area, above the belly button and below the belly button. When you sink your fingers into your gap, is it 1 knuckle, 2 knuckles, or 3 knuckles? So if you're able to generate tensions, the knuckles should be pretty minimal. And so that is telling me you are able to do a lot more stuff with it. And don't be afraid to try harder exercises. You're not going to worsen your situations. Not with just a couple of times of you doing exercise. Yes, it might be if you continuously force yourself to do that exercise and you know you're doming, you know you're bulging out, and you continuously to put pressure on it, continuously to do it without ignoring these symptoms. Then yes, it could worsen your situations, but not with just trying it out. Not with just doing it a couple of times and you're doing them right. It's not a problem as long as okay, you try this and if it doesn't feel right and it feels really challenging for you, you just back it off a little bit and then try again next week. So a couple of tips I wanted to questions I want you to ask yourself while you're trying these challenging exercises, such as side plank or dead bugs, or like even bridges with the weights or squat. Can you hold the positions well without compromising your posture? And that's number one questions I wanted to have you look at. So look beside your mirror while you're attempting a dead bug, for example. And are you able to hold that position well? And what I mean by that, are you able to keep your back flat on the floor, or are you arching up your back? And then do you feel that the exercise is doing anything for your core, right? If this is too much, then you will see those symptoms that I mentioned earlier, doming or bearing down. Or is it not doing anything? Like, oh, you feel like this is doing nothing for me. I feel like this is too easy. It's not doing anything for me. Now, do you feel any soreness or like tensing? Like, do you feel like the core is tensing up? Either like the same day or the next day you feel a little bit sore, then you're doing something great for your core, right? And are you able to brace through those exercises, few reps, at least with ease? So are you able to do them? Are you able to brace them with good posture, able to exhale, engage that core muscles, and you're able to do a few reps at least with ease? Like it's pretty easy for you to do a few reps, inhale, exhale, you're timing that breathing with you. And if that's yes, congratulations, you are indeed making great improvement on your core. And let's continue to get you stronger by challenging yourself more with different exercises. And so I wanted to just also give you an example of various progressions that you can progressively overload your core with these exercises that you commonly find or commonly seen on internet. So an example with that would be like lying on the floor. Maybe you're doing a supine knee lift. So like you're lying on your back and you maybe bring your knee up to the air, and maybe you're doing it one knee at a time. Now maybe you can bring both knees up at the same time. Are you okay with that? Now let's say if you're doing one leg extension, you're extending one leg out and you bring that leg up. Are you able to bring two legs up now? And are you able to bring them higher up and let's say do a bicycle and bringing it down and up and up and down? Are you able to do that? So that's why you can challenge yourself. Maybe if you're not able to do leg extension, then do a knee lift, right? If you're able to do knee lift, then do a one leg extension, extending that one leg out and bring it up and down. Able to do that well, then bring two legs up and then do a bicycle after that. Another example would be a plank. So plank commonly it's all fours, right? Like you would put your palms and your legs, toes on the floor, but it probably could be pretty tough for you, especially in the beginning, because it is a very front-loading exercise. So what you can do is you can start from the wall, and then you just have to step your leg out a little bit so you're on an angle, and then you move on to your kitchen countertop. You can move on to your chair, and finally to your floor. As long as you're feeling okay with your posture, you're able to breathe, you're able to brace yourself with ease, you're able to do a couple of reps, and then you actually feel the soreness and you're not seeing doming, bulging out. Now, some doming is okay. We do have a lot of loose skin, especially mom like myself with a really severe DR, and I had a lot of loose skin. It could be a little bit deceiving when you're looking at it and maybe thinking you're doming. So a little bit of doming is fine as long as you're able to connect and feel that you're able to pull the muscles taut, or maybe you were doming to start with, but you're able to pull it taut after, like as you exhale more, as you're engaging your pelvic floor muscles more. So those are the examples, and I hope that you find this podcast episode helpful for you and hopefully eliminate some fear that you're having in mind, thinking, oh, I will never be able to do that. Oh, when can I go back to running, right? So I don't want you to be afraid, but I really want you to try it, give yourself that chance and see how you feel. Follow those tips that I have given you in this episode and challenge yourself, take one step at a time. Or record yourself while you're doing exercise to see how you actually look. It's hard for you to look at yourself when you're exercising, but when you're looking at the playback of your exercises, it's so helpful for you to pinpoint, oh wow, I didn't realize that my back is arching up this way, or my bum is tugging under, or my neck is this way. So it's so helpful for you to really look at yourself, video of you doing it, and pinpoint exactly, maybe, okay, I need to work on this next time. So hopefully you find this episode helpful, and thank you for being here with me. If you wanted to learn more with me, please check out my Instagram at BeckyChoi_, or you can go to www.tummywarrior.com. I will chat with you next time. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.